seems to be a video about me making alterations to clothes to make them fit and just basically change them into things. So in other words, upcycling some of it. I'm just going to show you a dress that I've had for a while. It was white and I used to wear it quite a lot in the summer. It was always very risky to wear it, and I'm really surprised that I didn't actually get it stained. But I thought I'd sort of have a change and I'd dye it purple. Now I wore it once in this colour, but for some reason I'm just not wearing it. I don't really, I suppose the opportunities maybe haven't been there, or when it's been hot I find it too hot. So I've decided, I've put it on Donna, and I'm decided I'm going to make it sort of more knee length. So it's a bit of a challenge because it's serge stitched and it takes a while to unpick that, but I'll just quickly show you on there what I'm talking about. So there it is, and obviously on Donna it looks really long because she's not as tall as me. But yeah, I always liked this dress, and it's such a pretty little pattern, and you can see the pattern there on the waist. There's a similar pattern, or the same pattern, down there. So what I'm going to do is cut it off or unstitch it under that line, and then I'll have some purple fabric there to do something else with. I'm not quite sure yet, but obviously it's screwed up. It's been in my to-do bag for ages, but I think I'll probably wear it more like that. Who knows, I might even wear it on holiday. So let's start unpicking. While I'm doing this, I'm to show you, I didn't realise this, but when I dyed it, as I say, it was completely white, and obviously the thread wasn't cotton. I hadn't realised, so that you can see the thread all over the dress is still white. So a little frustrating because I preferred it to have been one colour, but there you go. Can't do anything about that now, so I'll live with that. Just remember that if it's not completely cotton, it won't necessarily dye completely. So right, let's go on with this unpicking. I forgot to mention the dress is lined as well, so I'm obviously going to have to shorten that as well. So once I've done the outside, I'll then know how much of that to cut off. I've got stitches. These aren't the stitches I've been cutting. I obviously didn't notice when they were white, when the whole dress was white. Now I've got to find where I'd started unpicking, and I can't find it. Apparently the idea is, when you're unpicking serge stitches, is to catch this thread here, where the loops are held on there. But this is as far as I've got, and I'm really struggling. I think I've got the right thread, but it's not coming off as easy as I'd like, and I don't really want to cut it because yeah, it's quite a straight hem on it, so I've got to take that off. So let's keep going. What I ended up doing was just running what do you call it, the thing I've just dropped on the floor, the picker, the stitch thingy. I forgot the name of it. Anyway, so I've run that all along the top of the loops, and I've just cut all the way through there, which has obviously left all this debris, but it hasn't undone it obviously. So now I've got to go around again with my unpicker and just to undo all these stitches. So it's not a quick fix. Right, this is the next bit I've got to do. Is there's 2 rows of stitching on the inside and 1 on the outside. See, just about there. I'm assuming that one of the rows of stitches is where it was gathered. I don't know for sure, but I've undone a couple just so I can get my unpicker in there somehow to then run it around. Fingers crossed. Well, it didn't work from the side with the single stitch, which was the front, so I'm having to separate the two, or the seam basically, and go through and cut the double stitch all the way around, so this is going to take me some time. Oh well. Well, that's taken me a while. But it's that there is a lot of fabric, so it would do. But I've just got to show you, is it just me? Am I the only one who finds this really satisfying? I'm just going to show you. Once you've done all this unpicking, and this is what I've got left now, you've got all these threads. And I love this bit. I just love sitting here pulling all these off and just tidying it up. Am I sadistic, or are you the same? Okay, now, so I've tidied all of the hem up, and I've cut a strip 3 centimetres in depth and the same width as the hem, so that I can now sew that on the hem, tuck it under to tidy it up. Wish me luck. Right, there I've stitched that little panel on. Obviously you can see I've serged the edge, stitched that panel on and pressed it, and now I'm just turning it over to press it all the way round. And I think because this is so close, unless I could double over, let me think. I could, yeah, maybe I'll do that. Because I was thinking about hand stitching the hem. I'll see how I go. That stitch down might not be too bad. Otherwise, I mean by the machine, but otherwise I could hand stitch it. Just because, to be honest, I think it'd be neater. But do I need it to match the stitching there? Decisions, decisions. There we go, finished. I'm quite pleased with that. So I've done hand stitched the hem in the end, and hand stitched the lining, which obviously have made it a couple of inches shorter than the dress. Well, that took me a few hours, but I'm glad I've done it. Now maybe the dress will get worn a bit more. Hello. Another day, another sew. Now that that dress is finished, and I have to say I am really pleased with it. This top, this is one I made actually from a curtain, believe it or not. A curtain that I found in the charity shop. And I really like the texture because it looked like linen. It's not linen, but it looked like it. And I must admit, when I was sewing, I could see that it was a bit fray. But I went along with it anyway. I didn't have, as far as I remember, I didn't have my serger then. Anyway, I've worn this a couple of times and I do like it. And it's come out of the wash really fray, and to be able to say that I made it and it was so fray, I was a little bit embarrassed. This is the pattern it come from. It's one of the free ones that came with the sewing magazine, Simply Sewing, and it's such a simple pattern, and you can do all different length sleeves with it and everything. I think this is the only time I have made this, but I will definitely make more because, as I say, it is such a simple one to put together. So much so that I didn't find it daunting, basically, to unpick all of this top again, so that I could then go around the edges, serge it, and put it back together again. So that's what I'm going to do now. That's just the little facing of the neck. I don't know if I'm going to do that because I've already snipped, and you can see, but I've already snipped, as you do when you're going around a neckline or somewhere. So that's what I'm going to do next. Then I'm going to be looking for a pattern, because I know I've got some fabric here that I've really liked. I had it for a long time, and I've got a dress in mind that I think it would be perfect for. But I need to drag out the fabric to see how much there was of it and find a pattern for the dress that I'm thinking of. So I don't know if I've actually got the pattern, but I'm sure I can adapt one. Anyway, now let's get on with this. I think I'm going to turn the blade off because obviously it's to the size now and I don't want to make it any smaller. So no cutting, just sewing. It's not great, but it's tidier and it's going to stop it from fraying. And I've just had a thought, saying I won't use the cutter. I think I will on some of it because it has frayed so much, and there's quite a lot of long frays. So alright, I'll come back to you when I've finished that. Serging done. Much tidier now. See, there's no big fray bits. I mean, there's tiny bits, but there's nothing big and major, and I feel safe washing it now. So now I'm just going to put it together. Right, okay, there we go. Finished. Donna's very kindly modelling it for me. It's just nice knowing that it's not going to fray again. Hopefully. Right, I found the material that I was talking about. I just think this would just make such a lovely sort of dressy dress for going out. And this is the pattern. I think it'll be perfect. I won't be bothering with the pockets. I don't think it's the sort of dress, well, this material won't look right with pockets, but other than that I think it'll be fine. It goes up to quite a large size, so assuming my measurements match up, which I should be doing shortly, that is what I'm going to attempt to make. Not sure I'll be making it quite as short as that, but yeah. So if I get this done, or if I get round to actually start making it, I will maybe show you. I know it's not an upcycle, but it is using fabric that was sitting in someone's house for a long time. She wasn't using it and gave it to me. Lucky me. I can't remember if I mentioned or not whether about a bag of clothes that my daughter gave me when I went to visit the UK recently, and it was great because all the clothes were new with tags, but a lot of them were quite sort of, well, just needed alterations basically. There were some were a bit long, some no, mainly long and a bit big. So I've been altering them. So I'm just going to show you one that this is the after, but I'm going to tell you what I've done on it and show you the pictures. Okay, this is one. It's not quite sitting right there, but I don't know. Sorry, just move that. Sorry, Donna. Yes, so it really needed a good iron when I got it. But what happened, it was very, as you can see in the pictures, it was a good 4 inches too big. So what I've done, again, I'll show you in the pictures, I took it in, took about this much off before, took it in and then graduated it down to the waist. And then managed to stitch it all back, because obviously I undone the facing and everything. Then did the stitch all the way through, then stitched it back down again. I basically wouldn't know. I've got a feeling, I don't know, but I've got a feeling they might have to move the straps. They just seem a bit wide to me, but I'll see when I try it on. And that was it really. I just had to do that on both sides. Hopefully it won't be too long, but anyway, as I say, you'll see in the pictures, that was one of my first alterations I've done out of that bag. This is another one. It's not hanging quite right on there, Donna. But yeah, this one it was just too big here. There's too much hanging out here. And then I spotted that there was these front seams. So what I done, because this dress is lined, it didn't, and I thought it was going to be more complicated than it was, but I managed to, as you'll see in the pictures, undo the stitching and the lining just inside there, and then get inside. And with this one I had to take about 1 inch off each side. Again, because I did it like a dart. I just did it and then gradually went into, because it was so fine down here, it was just this bit, so I did it just gradually into that seam. And I quite like this dress, so it's not hanging quite as it should on there. But it's nice and fresh, and I think that's going to be great for the holiday. It's elasticated, so if I can show you, got elasticated zip back, and yeah, so I think it's gonna, I'm probably gonna find myself wearing that quite a bit, especially if it's hot. But yeah, so see the videos and the pictures or whatever, and you'll see how I've done that one.